waiting for you to join so that we can do this. Just remembered something, eh? Just remembered something I was supposed to do. Thayo ucio ni Njenga wa Muthaka. Njenga wa Muthaka ni mũmbũi wa mbarĩ ya Mbu. Njenga wa Muthaka ni endete andũ. Njenga wa Muthaka gũkũ agĩka what you call carrying out my own responsibilities and duties. Thayo. Now, so today, of course, is the Sun Day, the day of your individualism, the day of you expressing yourself, the day of you of expressing your own solar plexus. So it's your day. It's your day to shine. It's the Sun Day. So what is the sun? The sun's consciousness is everything that you see when you look outside of you. You see bright things. You see colors. I see colors. Another drama. You see any representation that you see, which is the sun's consciousness, which is what you are conscious aware, meaning it is what your phoenix, your Demathia, is aware of. It's your own solar plexus. Whatever is under the sun is your own expression, is your own Demathia, is your own solar expression. It's your own sun. It's your own Leo constellation. It's your own number 5. It's your own feeling on what you have been able to judge. Number 5. Okay? Now, shout out to the soul group and shout out to everyone who is now on that level. So that is why on Sundays you want to shine and all that drama. This video is not about the days of the week. Now, I didn't know I could make such good tea. You know, Njenga Muthaka is home alone. You know, 2 nights Njenga Muthaka has been home alone. You know, the queen has gone visiting. You know, my feeling and my descendant feeling, they have gone. So Njenga Muthaka is all about thought. Because he had days, because I just made myself some tea and some pancakes. You know, I don't have a moiru. Now that I'm searching, Mojiro is capable of a lot of things, and also the fact that she is the one who can go and choose for me, can choose for myself. You know what I'm saying? So now, so this video will have a lot of thoughts, so hena muini wa gicande haha, ni muini njorua woma wa gicande, ni ngerekano. Tutige na gicande ni twanjie kindu gitagwo Mozart. Tuthie kindu gitagwo Beethoven, the Beethoven music, the organ. So someone, a spirit, came up with that Beethoven, came up with that virtue and principle of Beethoven. So he came up with the chords and the music and the frequency that when you play, it can be considered a Beethoven. So that spirit became aware for the first time. Okay? That spirit became aware of Beethoven for the first time in its own parameter, aka in its own surroundings. It's in its own thought of what Beethoven can be, feeling how it sounds, the music instruments and everything, and then the androgynous coming up with a conclusion, the surroundings and everything that's surrounded there. We need a piano, we need a keyboard, we need drums, we need a conductor. We need a conductor who is going to need a magical wand, or to call a staff, a rod, to control the people. So that spirit that became aware of that Beethoven, as an example, is a spirit that became aware in its first parameter, first space. So in that space, it had what you call the virtues and principles of Beethoven, as an example. So Beethoven is not a good thing or a bad thing at the beginning of that Beethoven. That's creation of that spirit, which you are calling Beethoven. So now that Beethoven spirit, there's nothing good or bad about that conclusion, that androgynous, that child, that the fruits that you bear from your tree. Now, your knowledge, your know-how. Now, so what happens is that once a spirit becomes aware around another spirit, they emit a light. So other spirits can be attracted to that light, aka what is light? Information. So what is information? Beethoven. So other spirits are aware of Beethoven and the virtues and principles of Beethoven. And since they resonate with that Beethoven, they start becoming having being relatable. Number two, now they are becoming demonic. Okay, now instead of being relatable, the frequency of number two becoming aware, separating. So another spirit has separated from you. Shout out to the soul group community. Shout out to the soul group who have been coming for the lessons. So you know from one, individuality. Two, you are separating. You are becoming relatable. You are becoming diplomatic. So when that other spirit is aware of Beethoven, the spirit that has become aware of Beethoven, those virtues and principles of Beethoven, aka the thoughts and feelings of Beethoven, aka thought thinking, how will be the chord, the layout of the music, the writings now, the spellings. We are going to have a D minor, G minor, F major. So that those terms and conditions, and here we are going to have a low hum, here we are going to use the drum on that, here we are going to have the flute, all those rules and commands, which is a language, becomes a light, something that can be impactful, because you know words can hurt. You know words can cut deep, and you know that words can also make people moist. Words can cut deep, so words can be impactful. They are spells. They can be cast, aka someone can curse you. Someone can throw words at you and they hurt you. You feel impacted. Why would they call me that? And sometimes I may use the right words and make you even more attracted. Such a darling. Oh, you are so beautiful. You know, my lady, when you are bent over, you are behind. Reminds me of the zebras that graze as I'm driving along Naivasha near Nakuru. You are behind reminds me of the zebras. My lady, when you are walking, your legs would make a giraffe jealous. Your neck, you know, all those beautiful words now have a different impact on whoever is receiving it. Now that language, remember, it was not bad or good. It was just a language. It was just that spirit becoming aware. I'm teaching you how Lucifer fell, okay? Reminding you. So that parameter, that good or bad, is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's your own creation. It's your own thought, feeling. Androgynous, how you feel about your creation. And by default, when you are 3 in your environment, you have to become the judge of that environment. Number 4, now when you become the judge, you have to tell us how you feel about that judgment. Number 5, now by default, you have to spend time in that because it now has had a thought and a feeling. So now you're on the energy of number 6, creating, spending time in that, making it make sense, materializing it. Now, when you become the judge, number 7, to see your creation, number 6 out of the 6, as number 7, the judge, you becoming the judge, now you can see it from a higher position. Okay? Before you spend time in it, number 8, you're spending time in that which you are able to judge. So you're spending time there. Nena bainyanya, negesa jama, and then when you get to 9, you arrive at the wisdom. Kedamo yuru. 1 to 9 for you, deep thrown in there. Now, so other spirits become aware of the same Beethoven. Now, since energy can only be created but cannot be destroyed. I repeat, the energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Yao, that's the Mason's version. Energy can be created. We do it every day with our mind and thinking and thoughts and everything. Things like Tesla, things like metaverse, all those are thoughts, all those are energies that have been created. However, what we can do is destroy them. So energy can be created, but we have a difficult time destroying it. That is why that destroying it becomes trash. That is why you have plastic. So whatever you created, okay, you created something new, the problem becomes destroying the creation now. So now you have plastics. You can't get rid of them. Now you have to burn them. Now what you burn, you create now smoke, something new. You never seem to destroy what you created. You get what I'm saying? So now, I'm gonna go deep now, okay? It's my day. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's my day. Now, this is how you express your individuality. I'm channeling everything from my constellation to the day's energy to even what I'm wearing. Gold on a Sunday. Now, and gold is light. So gold is what light looks like. When you see light, the physical manifestation of light is gold. Light metal. That is why you can turn gold into anything. You can shape it into anything. The way you can bend light, or the way light can bend in on itself and become darkness, reflections. So this is light. I'm wearing the light. So this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Now, so the other spirits, they duplicate that now. They duplicate that light. They duplicate that Beethoven. Now they're interested in the Beethoven. So they are duplicating that light. Now, what happens is that we are adding other men's version. Beethoven 1, Beethoven 2, Beethoven interpreted, Beethoven, what do we call them? What do you call when you're turning something from one language to yours? Tafsiri. So that Beethoven imeingia tafsiri. That Beethoven imeingia what you call interpretation. Reprinted. So now that energy, since these are different spirits picking on that light, picking on that influence, depending on whether they are baby spirits, they may add that to that thought of maybe, for example, now it was Beethoven, but I was teaching you about how Lucifer fell. So now they are adding that light to that thing which we call Lucifer. So Lucifer is something we call something. So Lucifer, that light bearer, it's not that thing we are calling Lucifer. It's the terms and conditions that were the first birthed, spiked, when that spirit became aware of its parameter, and that thing is what we call Lucifer. That is what we call Lucifer. It's not the dirt and the bullshit and the garbage and the interpretations and the declination and the edited version and the my version and somebody else's version and your how you write it from left to right and how you interpret it and how you do the drawings. So it's not that. That came way after. So I'm teaching you how you can fall. I'm teaching you how Lucifer fell. Okay? Now, so by default, teamwork make the dream work. So the more spirits are coming up with that Beethoven, and adding that, making it becoming now even more aware, everyone coming into that awareness adds their own bullshit, and maybe the bullshit they're adding is a heavy what we call a ritual, because they have been born in a ritual, so they are adding their energies into that ritual which they don't know. So they are birthed, they are shown a light. I know they don't need so those spirits become aware of that. Now this is a Christianity, this is a cult, this is a culture, this is a church, this is a religion, this is a government, this is a system, education. So now when you go to that light, you are practicing witchcraft on yourself, because you are practicing a ritual that you have no right being in, but you are practicing for things that you think are important for you, because for them they are like stability, shelter, safety, and all those things that come with the things that you care about in this world. So since they are upholding stability, shelter, whatever, now you have no other reason to be like, anyway, what else can I do? Let me just join. Anyway, what can I do? I still have to go to work. Anyway, what can I do? I still need to go to church. Anyway, what can I do? I still, so because it's coming from a weakness, you give up your right just like that. Okay, now those toxic lingerings of those spirits, okay, the toxic lingerations, the toxic uchafu, energy can be created but cannot be destroyed. So those what you call garbage, that what you call trash, that which we call leftovers, that which, so those kind of things, remnants, are what now some people, when they become aware for the first time, they tap into that. They tap into the toxicity of these terms and conditions, be it Beethoven, be it Lucifer, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And since they have added so much dirt and chaos and thoughts and feelings and languages and things, it's such a heavy thing that it's so heavy you have to attach nothing but a negative thing to it, because that's your interpretation of it, because of what you have been given, the terms and conditions of that. But if you are spiritually wise, you go to the source and you understand that at the source, when you become aware for the first time your birthright, that is why it's called a birthright, that is your birthright to have this. It is your birthright when you become aware for the first time to have a shelter. That's one of the things that govern this world. So that makes you understand why a child may be 6 years old, but that child is clever than everyone in the family, or the other siblings. This is the last born child, but he's no. They are most responsible. Even later in life, though they are the last born of the family, they are still the most responsible. They are still the most relatable. They are still the most hard worker. They are still, because they are more advanced in life, but you are in the same space. So everyone is born in their own specific space. But now, depending on how inner or how outer on the monad you are, the 360, the universe, the space within the space, that which is determined by how wise you are, or your wisdom. Because wisdom is intelligence coming from experiences that you have gone through in life. So when you are born in that space, that's how you explain why you are going to have some smart people in a family that has dum-dums. Now, what do I mean? So, depending on the location that you became aware of, okay? So this is the age. Maybe you came at the age of Aquarius, the age of Taurus, the age of Leo. So a time frame between what time frame between that monad, how you are calculating that thing moving, between that Aries, between that Mars, between that month, May, Leo. So between that, at what time frame, time of day, your time of day, everybody has their time of day. So what time frame, what degree were you born? Okay, now that takes you now from the degree, which is an angle, a knock angle, whatever, to now an actual position on the monad. Now you have a position. Everybody have their position in life. What's your position in life? But now, spiritually speaking, I'm taking you there. So in that actual position, you are in an area. Okay? A parameter, an area, a circle. Square out that area. You are in a circle, a space. Now, in that space, that circle, okay, that is what determines how young you are as a spirit. How untainted. Now, in that space of untainted, or in that space of what you are aware of the world, which is your awareness of the world, you are within other spirits that are aware of the same awareness. So those becomes your friends in the spiritual world. Okay, we are legions of spirits. Okay, we are these spirits, the Elohims, the whatever spirits, they recognize to that name. When you go to the Bible, let us make man like one of us, aka let us make man like one of our thought and feelings. Okay? So in that, which is a family, let us make one like one of us, a family. So now that family relation becomes the people you are related to by blood. This becomes your family members. This becomes your siblings, the people you are sharing blood with. At blood type, blood type. So this birth relationship goes all the way to a bloodline, a blood type. And blood is thicker than water, so you say. So now by default, since now you have a blood, it has to sink, become heavy than water, thicker. Okay? More binding. Ties that bind, family binds, all the way to arranging for marriages and putting rings on fingers that represent your feelings. But you're putting a certain ring. The ring, the seal of the seven, the return from the macro to the micro. So you are participating in that witchcraft, a ritual whereby you are ringing something, circling something, binding something. In this case, you are binding a feelings. This finger is associated with feeling, though each and every part has its meaning. Each and every part has its meaning. Each digit, each digital update has a different meaning. Okay? So if you are putting the ring on your ring finger, emotions, feminine, left, emotion, waters, okay? More caring, more holding, more containing. So you understand, to go to Tumakwa ring. So those becomes your family members. They become your siblings. Now, the more outer you are out of that now bloodline thing, now those becomes your neighbors. That becomes your neighborhood. Okay, you can be in the wrong neighborhood. But even in the wrong neighborhood, there's something that is attracting to that. And that thing that is attracting to that is something that makes you relatable to those people. You are made relative. You are relative to the people in the slum. If you're in the slum, you are relative to the people in the slum. You share the same flying toilets. You share the same waiting for people to come out of the bathroom to go in. You are relative. You are vibrating the same. But now you don't see the physical things. Bathroom sharing, bathroom in the spiritual world. You are sharing your own dying, decaying thoughts and feelings being smelly around you, decay. So that tells you where you are spiritually. Do you get it? And that is why sometimes you can be born in the wrong place. And you're always trying to get out of that. You're always trying to get out of the poverty because that is not you. You are something demonic attracted you to that place and you are birthed there. But sometimes in our days we used to have midwives who would be like the gatekeepers, and when a child was born with some deformities, they would help ease that spirit to snuff it out so that it can be immediately incarnated to go back into not be into lostness, and that's salvation on another form. But anyway, now you metaga mercy killing, you call it mercy killing. That was sacrifice and salvation. Now salvation yaro already, so that those you are relative with those you are relative with, you are not agreeing to having warje, you are not agreeing to having disabilities, because for you understand that spiritually what that means. When someone is born without legs, you understand what that means in the spiritual world, is that this spirit is so comfortable that they no longer want to do anything for themselves, so they don't even feel like they need to move from one position to another, so they don't feel the need to develop legs and things like those ones. In the physical, that is how it manifests. So Jegawa Mudhaka, in my page, we don't do any pondering here. We don't sugarcoat anything. We tell things as they are. Okay? We fight fire with fire. In this page, we fight fire with fire. We don't turn the other cheek. When we understand something, we call it for what it is, because we know what kind of spiritual possession you'd be for that to manifest. Since we know already in this world that if you are sitting and not moving, you can become obese to the point they need to take you places in a car. We have programs. We see people who cannot walk because they have been sitting and eating and doing nothing, and that is on the physical. So do you think on the spiritual side is different from that? It's just that huyu ameamua be obese, sit down and eat and drink soda and become obese and be taken with a forklift to charge and be glorified for it as a demon on TV with my own show, Too Fat I Can't Move. But spiritually, that's a spirit that doesn't want to move shit. But these are the spirits you are glorifying, giving them TV shows. But because this world is inverted, the one who are doing that, they know what they are doing. So they make you pay attention to their things. They make you pay attention to their shows. That it's okay to be fat and to be obese and to have your own television show and to be followed by thousands of other spirits. Because they know that they are programming other spirits to be lazy. But to be lazy spiritually, speculatively, not operatively. Okay? Now, Sudiata Mora kauga too fat I can move. It's good to be fat in the right places. The last time I checked, a fat dick is a good dick. Now, so I want it thick and corded like a madingo, like an African king. Now, like the strongest 8th house energy you can ever find below the horizon. You know, below your waist. You know, Libra and all that below the waist. All those Scorpio energy number 8. All that waters in Scorpio, and you get wet. You get angry, it can sting. Some men, they can sting you like a bee with their thing, with their jewels. Now you have an unwanted baby. You know that below the horizons. That's why you need to wear a skirt to cover it. That's why you need to cover it, because those are the organs below the horizon, below your monad. Okay, below your below your 12 p.m. as you are going. You know what I'm saying? Now, so Autumako, shout out to Moaura Sundiata, so group. So now, the neighbors that you have, Jirani, Iturania Wikaragado Amore Karania now, that is relatable to the people, the places you are traveling to in the spirit. They become your surroundings. Now this even goes deeper. These become your bloodstream. The way to argue a live stream. When you are live streaming something, you are live streaming from a source. So bloodstream, from a source where these spirits became aware for the first time. That source, that space, that bubble, that awareness amongst the waters, you create your own bubble, your own surroundings. Okay? Now, that goes, the more further you are traveling outside your area, spirit, the friend you are with, now you have a country. Now you have before you even go there, you have a tribe of people. I am the Gekoyo, so that's your tribe. That's people who speak the same dialect. That's people you have agreed to the terms and conditions on deities. Those are the people you have, they are their tribe. Wewe ni tribe bana, we Buddha, I'm your tribe bana. Tunajuana, tribe hotel and all that. Na tribes, mara, kwenye tidhanio, tribe, rorere, mara, tribes, that energy of tree, tricep, whatever. Okay? So, tribe. So that tribe, mara, tribes, kwenye tidhanio, tribe, kunshikanishwa, tribes, mara. So that tribe now is, again, how far you are in your location. Now that tribes, now the more further away you move, you find a location, a country, a location on this monad that we have created. This Gaia, this Tiamat, this world. A location. You say you are right there on the equator, at the center. You say you are right there in Africa, which is the resources, nothing more, nothing less. You say you are right there in the land where the sun is always shining. So now in your location, in your country, the more outer you go, you can be aware your rulerships. Who is ruling who? What kind of government is ruling us now as a country, as a location? What mentality? Or British monarchy? Oh, so still we are under a British rulership, a British ruler. Now, the British ruler now can also go more external and see, because you cannot rule unless you are getting that rulership from something above you. a coping, a location, another spirit, another space, another bubble. So unless it's your own intellectual property rights, in the case it can be. So that British rulership, that rulership energy must have come from a source that was all about ruling over other sources, controlling, manipulating, pushing down. So instead of you hating on these people, you're supposed to hate that energy. And hate is not even the best word to use, but you're supposed to hate that thing to the point you want to separate, aka you want to be like God. You want to be like one of a kind, because for you, you say you want to go to see God, and you know that for you to go to see God, you don't need a body. So you should be ready to shed your body. You should be ready to shed those bodies. You should be ready to shed those bodies that govern, having no masters, being one of a kind, becoming like God, so that God can use you as an example on how that thing is played on you. So you become the light, but not as the light bearer, as the one now who is detached and is able to detach and see, oh, this is how Lucifer fell. So it's not even something hard. It's like even my Nyambura, my daughter, can understand. All I have to do is explain to her thoughts and feelings, how we create these things, and I can show her how this thing never meant anything bad. But it's not about the good or bad, it's about other spirits becoming aware, adding thoughts and feelings, because they are not detaching, instead of getting into Lucifer and getting out. Get in, see, what the fuck is this? Get out. Get in, what the fuck is the religion? Get out. Get in, what the fuck is this culture? Get out. Get in, you see, you are detaching, but you are becoming aware. And the more aware you are becoming more aware of detaching. So you are creating a big bubble, and by default your bubble has to float above other bubbles. You're occupying more space in their spaces. So for some things you don't even need to go inside them, because there are bubbles inside you. As a spirit, since you are a big bubble within bubbles, but you have other smaller bubbles, like the way you have body cells in your blood that are serving you, you also have, now you start seeing other bubbles, like their cells, your cells, their legions. You see them as nothing. You can see where they are coming from, and you are detaching. As you grow, you are becoming more aware of other things, and then you get to a place that you realize, oh, it's not even that thick. There's only a few ways that a spirit can arrive at that conclusion, that decision. So now your world becomes smaller. So the world is small for you. You can see through the Rubik cube. You can see, you can decide, you can hold the world in your hand. You can uphold it. You are upholding your world. You can uphold it, and you can see everything. Adhayo naisha sisi kama Taurus wanatutambua, tunapenda kuzungusha maji ya drum. Yeah, big shout to Wanyoro Sami. Yeah, of course, all those fixated signs, Taurus, Scorpio, when it comes to the power of the Jigo and the games, they have the gift. Madingo Sudiata. Sudiata Kita was the Madingo Jata. Shout out to Muaora. Big spirit, yeah. All that bamboo stick energy, all the way to Shaggy made him, hey, Mr. Bombastic, Mr. Lava Lava. Why would you say he would say Lava Lava and say bombastic? And we have bamboos, and bamboos are poles. So shout out to the African kings with their bamboo poles, looking like tripods when they are walking 3 feet. And so the white women have to come to get some of that Samson energy. Of you beating jaws with the jaws, you taking a jaws of an ass, and you know an ass, a donkey, it's always kicking, okay? So you are taking the ass of a donkey, the jaw breaker, and beating other people with on the head, you know, no? Tukude tumaini udoro siyo jega mudaka. Kuvyo na cracky joke. Yeah, I can crack an esoteric ducted joke. For the soul group. Shout out to the ladies who swallow their water. You are made of water. You're a star. Sometimes it's good to wash in your own star. Sometimes when you're swimming in your own star, in this body of water, you may have some water slip into your mouth. So shout out to you. And sometimes you need to taste the water of the sea salt. You can taste the water and you're like, it's too salty. So you know you're going to float. Okay? If it's not too salty, you know, even when you're going diving, you are going to need extra strength to go to dive diaper. You know, deeper diaper. Now you have you're even bringing, you dive deep. Now you are buying diapers for the child because you dove too deep. You know, so don't mind me. I'm expressing my individuality on a Sunday. So now that's how you realize where you are on the monad. So first, you're on the resources. What does that mean? That means you knew how to get to the resources to the point you manifested sitting right on the gold. You have too much gold, you'd bury the dead ones with it. Now, that doesn't mean that you are better than the others. Since the last time I checked, you don't even know how to use your own gold. You dig your gold and you give it away. So that doesn't mean that you know shit, because you can be sitting on a gold mine and you don't know. So that means you are spiritually lazy. That means that even though you are in spirituality, you are still in spirituality, but from a lesser side, from other people being in rulership over you. Because in the physical, you can see them still taking the gold. Now, if you are sitting on gold and giving it away, aka you are gold mined, gold, you know, I'm not on this. I have switched, just like that. So we talk about gold mines and what you call cobalt mines. So cobalt, you are mining cobalt in Congo for money. And then we have Goldman, the Goldman sharks, the people who make the real money on the internet and everything. That shows you where you are spiritually, esoterically speaking. So it's not about melanin. It's not about black is powerful. It's about understanding where you are on the monad, spiritually speaking, and what you are manifesting into the physical. Because that which matters to you in the spiritual world, when it starts mattering to you and you're trying to make it more sense, to make it matter, now it becomes matter, more dense, matter, more dense, physical, matter, manifestations of something physical. So whatever you are manifesting is where you are spiritually, esoterically speaking. Now, it takes eyes to hear and ears to see. It takes eyes to hear and ears to see. So by default, when you become aware now of a new parameter of, oh shit, this is how they created slavery. Oh shit, this is how they keep us under these 5 magical pillars that they have. Now you're in a new space. And when you're in a new space, that's your awareness. So how you decide to drive that awareness, that ship, whether it's a relationship, you have a new girl, so it becomes a relationship, all the way to you dating your own mother, all the way that sometimes your mother may have been your previous wife, or maybe your previous daughter, and that is why we don't practice in sex in the physical, because we know what that means. You'll be having sex with one of your thoughts or one of your feelings. And when you're having sex, aka when you're spending your time in one of your feeling, that creates pondering, that creating adding too much bullshit to that thought, because you start becoming demonic, thinking that thought is you, thinking that whatever you are thinking means the most to you, so you are trying to uphold it to be seen as that. That's what incest is, spiritually speaking. Okay, before it manifests into a man having sex with his sibling, having sex with one of their descendant thought or feeling, how having sex with your father, having sex with your God, having sex with your farthest thought. If it's a lady, a girl having sex with the father, or if it's a boy having sex with the mother, a boy spending too much time thinking and feeling about a feeling that was very new to them. It was a new territory. But they spend too much time, too much on thinking about that bullshit. They spend too much thinking about that election. They spend too much time thinking about that, and it is a feeling. They were feeling anxious. So I'm teaching you how you create curses and ancestral curses without even knowing it. So you're spending time thinking about elections and results. That's a feeling. So you're adding more more thought to a feeling, but the energy behind that thought is more feelings because it's making you feel a certain way, anxious, making you feel fearful. So it's more dense. Okay? And that now can manifest into you yourself manifesting or giving birth to either thoughts or feelings that do the same thing, or in a worst case scenario, if that thought and feeling is in a thought and feeling where we have too many of those things, now you have fathers sleeping with their children or children sleeping with their parents in the physical now. And that's how you fall. And that's how people like Lucifer fell. And that is even how archangels fell. And that is how I even fell. And that's even how I know I fell. Otherwise, I wouldn't know I have fallen, aka I have shrunk. Because falling in this channel is not the falling you think. To carry your falling, you think that the falling is from up down. No, that is not falling. That's actually dropping. I'm dropping something from the floor. You don't say I'm falling something from the floor. Understand life, then find the book and the titles and the word. If I drop something, I say I am dropping it to the floor. I don't say I am falling it to the floor. But when you fall, you say I have fallen. Why? Because based on the ground, you have become short. You are no longer outer. Your head is no longer further from the ground. You have fallen on your face. You have fallen on your butt. Falling. You have shrunk. Out of the 360, the monad, you have taken a smaller space. You have shrunk. Fallen angels. Falling to shrink. You are not expansive. Your awareness is not more outer. It's more inward. Okay? The pulse of life. When you breathe in, you expand. You are breathing in new territories. You are taking in. When you are taking in, you are into new spaces. Breathe in. You are into new spaces. Okay? So you are expanding. Even your air, your lungs. Air is intellect, information. You are smelling new perfumes. You can smell more flowers. Okay? More virtues and principles in your lungs. Information, air. Then you contract. You share that bullshit. But when you expel, when you shrink, you no longer shrink to where you are in the first place because you have accumulation of more bullshit, more air, more perfumes. So you keep expanding and shrinking now. Based on how expansive you are in the spiritual world, the more you fall as an archangel, the more you are not aware, the more you are lost, the more you have forgotten, the more you are a follower, a sheeple. You need a hold, someone to hold you, someone to show you the light. Nidayo. Kuri thayo cio nĩ njega wa muthaka nĩ mũmbũi wa Bariabu. Sometimes I like going deep, so that is how Lucifer fell. That is how you are born, in the location you are, in your parents, how you choose your siblings, your location. So do your best in this world. Do not waste your mind. Create new golems, new minds, new mind states that you can go into so that you don't get birthed into the same trials and tribulations, aka even if you are incarnated in the same location area, at least you are not aware of more bullshit. At least you are reincarnated, birthed into a higher, more aware spirit. Whether they know it or they don't know, they have a way of accumulation. So now you are birthed as a spiritual being in a family that allows you to be even bigger, aka you don't have to go through poverty because you have already outgrown it by understanding its virtues and principle in the spiritual world. So you don't go to that light. You are not attracted to that light. You are not attracted to the things of the world. You know the virtues and principles. You use them. You use this money. You use these places, peoples, and things as tools and detach them as you expand, so that when you get birthed now into a new thing, incarnation, carnate, carnal. So when you go into that carnal in the army energy of a new state, you are birthed with less dense bullshit. So you are birthed light. You are birthed in a bigger, more awareness, broader, less dense awareness. So you're aware of less bullshit. Maybe you become back like a star, a constellation, a moon, a planet, a mini planet, or something. Because your mind is so big, not even a single mind can contain it in this world as a mind state. So you have to be birthed into something that cannot contain this flesh and fluid and body and physicalities of this world. So you are birthed into something new. And that's resurrection for you. And that's you going to your heaven. You are heavier, lighter. Your heavens, you're above the horizon. The heavens above the horizon. Anything that is above the horizon means it's more lighter, light, L-I-T-E, more out there, more expansive. So it's not shrunk, it's more expansive, it's more to the heavens, it's more close to the oneness, it's more close to the big bubble, it's more close to the itself, its awareness, its beginning, its God, whatever you want to call it, its force, its nature, its ngai, it's whatever you want to call it. You are more outer there. You are more expansive there. You are not so dark and dense. You are an insect still. You are not so dark and dense. You are still crawling and rolling in your own shit, in diapers. You have outlived those bodies. You don't even need to be born as a human being again to have someone wipe your ass, aka your 7th and 8th constellations, your Libra and your Scorpio. Now things like those ones. Or you don't have to be bad, whereby you have your crown, your first house between your legs, so you are born inverted. Your first house is in your 9th house, in a fetal position, because that is how lost you are. That is how bent over you are as a light, demonic, that your light is under the horizon. Your crown chakra is born now below the horizon, the PM. It's in your PM. So your AM is in your PM. Your 5 a.m. is in your, what do we call it? 8 p.m. Na maundu magita mau. Nithayo. If you have 1-2 questions, I can take 1-2 questions. We can have an interactive space. I know Nedona, uria kire ya horera. What do we call it? What do we call this thing wa muthaka? Tumetaga comments. Nimeona venye comments imetulia, nikajua watu wana digest mbogo, imeenda deep, which is sometimes it's good to go deep. All my queens, they tell me, wa muthaka, you are too deep. I asked, do you like it? They're like, I love it. So I know it's good to go deep. So deep is good. You may be so in your mind for 1-2 days, but it's good. You can actually, I was totally mind fucked, which is good for you. You need to be taken to new territories, to exercise that muscle, that brain, and make it work. And sometimes you need a knock on the head to make you remember something. So now you remember, I put the shelf too low. So you adjust it. Your shelf life, your brain shelf life, your cells shelf lives. You need now to start exercising. But now what you are doing is mental exercising, spiritual fitness. So waka kwejaga muthaka, I not only give you body by Richie as the physical fitness, but we are having what we call spiritual fitness. So my page becomes spiritual fitness page. Esoterically speaking. We are not just going to build the body, we are going to build the mind, the body. We are going to improve the mind. Our minds are going to have very big biceps. We'll be walking around with minds and heads that have biceps. You know, we be fearful creatures. You know, we create our own golems. We come as creatures that have brains, that have biceps and gluteus maximus. A brain that has a big ass, but that ass is made of muscle from squatting all those esoteric weights, squatting. So now you are growing spiritual muscle. Now you have more muscle, you can move more, you can be more expansive. Now you are even splitting your chest. Now you are doing the Hulk thing. You are out there, more out there with a spiritual guru. for your spiritual fitness. Ninayo. And that was some good tea. I have to go back to the house. You know, I'm home alone. If you have seen that movie, Home Alone 1, 2, you have to go to the house and do some dishes. You know, Home Alone. Do some dishes as I listen to some music. So, tũgũtigĩrĩra hau ũcio nĩ Njenga wa Mũthaka, nĩ mũmbũi wa mbarĩ ya Mbu. Njenga wa Mũthaka nĩ endete andũ. Understanding that love is a parameter. Not understanding love the way you love or you understand love. Njenga wa Mũthaka nĩ endetwo andũ. Understanding that teamwork make the dream work. And God is a respecter of team. God is not a respecter of one man guitar. Knowing that koguo kuma gitina kia ngoro yakwa, from the bottom of my heart, big love to you and thank you for watching. You can share the video. This is one of those deep esoteric videos that need to reach as many people as possible. Sharing is caring. So do share the video. Don't feel shy that people are going to see you a certain way. No. You don't need to be validated. You can validate yourself. You don't need to seek external validations. You validate yourself, because you and only you will get yourself out of this mess you put yourself into. Tayo.